has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Back in Vegas at Super Bowl 58 at Radio Row in the Mandalay Bay where the fishes fly with Carver High back in New York. And I just heard from, and I don't think you ever worked with him on weekends with us, but we used to have him on every week, was Shaun Green. You know that guy, Carver High? You know who that is? You don't know
No
Green?
Shaun Green. No.
He's a trip.
No Green.
He's a trip. He's another guy with a gambling problem, and he just reached out and said he was in Vegas and wanted to hook up and party with me. I mean, it is just ongoing, the party saga here in Sin City. I will tell you, Carver High, in terms of you not being here, one of the drawbacks of being here is the amount of money I've spent. I literally I had to go yesterday on a cash run because I refuse to give $11 to the casino every time I go to the ATM machine. Now it used to be $4, now it's up to $11. How about these people that go out, they just want to get a 20 out and it costs them $31. Like, and imagine the hustle they got going in these casinos now that they're charging $11 to yank money. So I went on a run for money. I went on a run for liquor because, as you know, the drinks here are 20 a pop, and they're this big. Okay, so they're literally this big. The drinks are this big. It's literally a lowball glass this big. And then I decided to finally, in a driving rainstorm and high winds and local flooding, I was like, your boy Noah, the guy with the ark. I went through a giant river of freezing water and driving rain to find a handle of rum. And I was able to accomplish that. And so I have gone off campus to find cash and rum. You would have been proud of me, Carver High, if you'd be here with me and trust me, there ain't no two tall boys and a shot. Okay, we're talking, it is Super Bowl week. Everything is jacked. Everything. I literally got a Goudan biscuit with egg on it at the Starbucks, and it was $45 for a coffee and a Goudan. So, I mean, they are Spike City here. It's like, I mean, honestly, gouging is what I call it, where I come from. But the amount of money, I've already gone to the machine twice. I'm getting cleaned out. I have a gambling problem. I'm betting on 20 games a day. I have it just flying out the window. The money is just flying out the window. Food, I got some kind of stipend. That's gone at breakfast. So I get no lunch, no dinner. I'm panhandling at this point. Honestly, if you'd be here, you wouldn't believe it. It's like a vacuum, the money. It's unbelievable. So we have a lot going on here. So I know we're going to have...
that's for sure.
It certainly is that kind of town. And it's only going to get worse on, in my opinion, frankly, Friday and Saturday night. I told you before, did you see Joe Buck? He said something's going to happen before Sunday. Do you believe that? The over-under on something happening.
Well,
something
what is
bad
that?
happening.
What does he mean by something bad happening? Like what with what? Like with who? With what? What does he mean something bad's going to happen? I don't understand. What's that mean?
Somebody getting popped or, somebody screwing
up. I don't believe
up.
that. No.
So you believe it's going to be...
This is not 1977. In Las Vegas, all right? This is a new day. That place is as commercialized. And listen, is there bad people around? Yeah, I mean, there's bad people everywhere in Vegas. You'll find some bad people around the corner. There's a lot of bad people around. But if you're safe and you're smart and you're in the right places, you're not going to get in trouble. It's just that simple. That's especially with all those people in town. It's not.
I want to maintain my
wallet
and my phone. My wallet and my phone are two high priorities. I can't have, because there are professional pickpockets here. And
yes,
I mean,
that you have to watch.
There are so many people here walking around and bumping into people, and like there's millions of people here. Like, kid you, when you walk through the Mandalay Bay, there's literally hundreds of thousands of people, and I'm like, don't touch me. I'm not a big fan of people touching me and banging into me, trying to pickpocket me or try to get my phone. I have the new 17 security feature, Carver High, where I blocked people from getting access to my phone, where the financials are in my sports gambling apps. There's a lot of money involved there. Venmo,
can't let anybody get close to that. Can't let anybody close to it.
I can't have it. Yeah. And I'm carrying cash, and I have to keep it close by to protect it. So what is the other game tonight? Minnesota-Chicago in Chicago. Did you see the price of that wild game?
Minnesota-Chicago. Yeah, this is a good one, actually. Minus 190. Now, this has gone down. Minus 190 for Minnesota, plus 155 for Chicago, and a 5.5 on the total here.
Okay, well, so 5.5. I saw today that the Wild are taking on the horrible Chicago Blackhawks. The only way they describe them is they're horrible, they're terrible, they're awful, they're anemic, they're pathetic without Bedard. I will take the Blackhawks at that price at home to upset the Wild tonight in Chicago at the United Center. What was the price on the Blackhawks? $1.78?
I have plus 155 now, as of this second. Earlier it was down in that 170 area. Now it's at plus 155.
Well, this morning I bet it at around $1.78 or something like that because it smells like there's no way that all this is just upsets tonight or all the heavies are going to win.
Clean sweeps.
Nothing every night there's something, right? I'll give this game as the every night there's something. I think the Blackhawks upset the Wild tonight. Why is that number 5.5 if it's not going to be a good game?
Right. No, look, I could absolutely see it as well. All the chalk is not going to win, even though there's only 3 games. Look at all that happened last night. Calgary beat Boston. You had Philly beat Florida. You had plenty of upsets last night as well. These teams coming back from the break, a little sleepy, especially on the road. I could see the Blackhawks tonight.
Bro, there were so many Oiler fans in my hotel.
I heard.
It was
we talked about it
cockroaches.
last night.
Thousands of them showed up for this game last night, and they all came back to the casino disappointed because I've never seen so many road fans in my life unless I was like at a Steeler game with the way they draw. The Packers, the Steelers, Cowboys.
The Canadian teams, somebody told me this last time we were in town there, and I asked somebody who's there last night. The Canadian teams all schedule, their fans schedule this trip. When their team is in Vegas, they show up in big numbers, and that's why the place was colored with Oiler fans last night all over the place. And they were unhappy because they didn't get to tie the Penguins' record.
That is the greatest thing ever for me, that they didn't tie the Penguins' record of 17 in a row. Now, when we come back, we're going to talk to my dear friend Kyle Turley and my childhood hero, Jim McMahon. Last year in Phoenix, they were on the show, and we like talking about buds, flower, cannabis, freak. Get your action going because Turley and McMahon are rolling in next at Super Bowl 58. Radio Row to Mandalay Bay where the fishes fly.
Super Bowl is set in Vegas. We get a rematch from just a few years ago.
The only consistency in the playoffs has been Travis Kelce.
Brock Purdy, back-to-back weeks throwing 1 touchdown pass, right? He can't win MVP with 1 touchdown pass.
I hate the Chiefs, but I bet on them.
This is going to be a game that is played inside a field goal now from a spread perspective.
All that matters is there's one game left, the big game.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
If he doesn't run well, the Chiefs are really in trouble. If McCaffrey doesn't run well, there's a lot more options that you can actually use at that point. And that's how I'm trying to approach it and effectively. But also, Pacheco anytime touchdown. If they're going to score a touchdown, probably going to be him.
That's a good look. Attempts for Pacheco if you believe Kansas City's going to play their style. If you don't, then maybe you go under that total in regards to that.
Pro Football Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. They reel off the Chiefs, do 21 straight points. They win the game 31-20.
I've been selling this, because of the 23 billion is going to be bet on this game in the States this Sunday. That's insane. And this place, Vegas, they're going to make billions of dollars if the Chiefs don't win.
Ferrall Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
That's been to a sporting event. The atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
So last year I had on Kyle and Jim, of course, Kyle Turley, Jim McMahon in Phoenix at the Super Bowl from Revenant. These guys are badasses. And, we've talked before about your chronic pain and how you've dealt with it. I had the chronic pain with open heart surgery. I think I'm in your league now, bro. Hey. They stuffed me in I got to show you this picture. I got a picture to show you, because you did my show last year, right? And you were like, yeah, this guy's crazy. I'll show you crazy, right? I got to, you said, I remember last year you did the show and you thought I was crazy. I'll show you crazy.
We're glad you're alive, brother.
You never saw this picture? I thought I had it, and now I can't find it. Here it is. Where is it? Here it is. How's this for crazy? This is me after 10 hours. Of open heart. Do I look good?
Yeah, you what?
Yeah, I look
Still
great
breathing,
there.
Though, kid.
Still breathing. That was me.
Good
and the
Lord.
best part of it is that nobody wants to hear these stories. I understand that. Deal with it. Here's the deal: is that when I said today to Kyle, I go, yeah, the heart surgeon, my wife wanted to sleep with him, and he said to me, you're not allowed to smoke weed ever again the rest of your life. Turley sees me for the first time since the Super Bowl last year. He goes, no, he's wrong. You need to be smoking weed. That's
right.
what he said to me after I died.
You'll heal a lot faster.
So I have a clamp, and I have fake valves now. I have cow mesh valves and a clamp in my chest, so I have an artificial heart valve and clamp. And he goes, the smoke, because when they opened me up, they said I had black lung. He goes, do you smoke? I go, I just smoke chronic, doctor, only the finest flower. And he goes, well, you have black lung. And he goes, those days are over. He goes, you smoke dope, you'll be back in here. It was 2.7 million the first time. You want to do it again? We'll cut you open again, give you another scar. So he said that if I smoke, it'll rot and corrode and bacteria the clamp that holds together my cow valves. I have a cow valve. Now, I've had a lot of chicks that I've called cows in my day, Jim, but I've never actually thought I'd end up, they would come back to haunt me and that I would have a cow valve heart for all the chicks that I've called a fat ass in my day on the air. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate.
That's one thing I don't have.
A lot of misinformation there.
Well, let's get into
a lot of misinformation there.
Let's get into the real information from last year to this year, where Revenant has gone in accomplishing what you want to accomplish. I've even read people saying that, McMahon wants to take over the world because the rest of these people that are in charge of the world have screwed it up so bad.
That's right.
That's for starters. I got that about right? I'm close.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
I'm close.
They've screwed it up. Can anybody not see that? You're blind.
Well, of course I see it. I keep putting you guys on the air every year.
And all the misinformation out there that's being perpetrated on the American people. Your heart condition as well. Cannabinoids are real. There's an endogenous cannabinoid system. It's the number one regulatory system in the human body. And so we have to expand upon that and not take it down and, try to make this thing, what they have, which is just a bunch of nonsense out here. And so hopefully that, Jim can run for president, and I'll be the vice president because he needs to take the first bullet so we can then.
I'll be the press secretary.
Yeah, hey, here we are. We're in the cabinet. We've got a press secretary. We've got Ricky Williams in the cabinet. We've got all kinds of folks.
So what do you got going on? So the last time I saw you, you didn't have the music going. Now you got the new band going?
The music's always been going.
But you weren't touring?
Nah, I haven't been toured in a while.
But weren't you going to have a concert in Phoenix?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we played some music out there, played some music. Still to this day, I got a show coming up at Whiskey Benton, Nashville on the 29th. I'll be headlining the show.
So the new band and the single High. I like the name of that.
Right.
I think the last time you invited me to the concert, you gave me a spleef the size of my arm, and I smoked it, and I never made it to the concert. Well, I ate a bag of Doritos and laid on my bed in the hotel and drank rum.
That's probably were hearing some music anyway.
Yeah. You know what? Also, I just wanted to say that after my surgery, I'm not allowed to do anything for 4 months, so all I did was eat and gamble, and I gained 25 pounds. And I had
that's the answer.
Literally, everyone I see tells me I'm a fat ass.
Yeah,
everyone.
Well, you should have been smoking some reefer.
That makes me eat more. Like my son snaps tubes, and he doesn't eat. He doesn't eat when he gets high. When I smoke, I literally eat everything I see. Seafood diet. I'll eat anything. Shrimp cocktail, Doritos, popcorn, pizza. Children, I'll eat babies.
We got to introduce you to some sativa strains.
I got sativa, I got indica, I got hybrids. So you know what they told me? The doctor said I can't smoke anymore, but I can take Pro Tabs and gummies and everything.
Oh, you can.
I got that. I got that market cornered. I got that in my I got that in my pocket. Actually, right here on me right now. I'm not even kidding. I only got a half of a 25. I figured if I had to do a show later, I got to start doing.
You got to start doing dabs. Is what you got to start doing.
I did a dab.
Well,
my
you
God!
Resolved the smoking thing, and you could get it.
God. No,
get your strains
dude,
back.
I did a dab once in Manhattan. I couldn't find my car. I got lost. I had to have someone drive me home. I started buying clothes. I started speaking in tongues.
Man.
The guy goes, "Don't do a big hit." I go, "No problem, bro. I can handle anything."
A dab will get you. That'll get you.
I blew a hit out so big that I ended up lost. I was going to be sex trafficked in Salvador.
Hey, you probably were. You just didn't know it.
So you have a Gridiron Greats golf tournament coming up?
That's right. Gridiron Greats. We started that over 15 years ago. That was initial injection of me and Jim McMahon into this scene together. And we took it from there because we went on the tour bus, burned one down, and realized we're about the same. And we can resolve these issues if we come together.
Do you think that I've gotten worse since the last time you met me last year, that I've actually gotten crazier? Maybe all this heart explosion stuff has made me a worse human being.
No, I think you've actually.
I maintained.
Made a turn for the better.
Oh, you know what I did? I went on a tirade for you the other day on the air. They can back me up, Coffee. That I said that your team was the greatest team of all time, and that they came out with some Washington Redskins team. I'm like, bruh, no one cares about them. The 85 Bears put the fear of God in quarterbacks and other players. They were scared to play you. They were scared to get hit. They knew on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday they were going to be a cripple, and then little did they know that all the years later they could deal with their pain with CBD and with chronic. But the fact is, that was the greatest team of all time. 85, the Bears. Greatest defense. You pissed off Rozelle. Greatest team ever. That was the greatest team ever. And I'm a Steeler fan.
Defensively,
but I went to your
we were
Super
better
Bowl.
in '86. Defensively, statistically, we were a better football team in '86.
Your dance moves really sucked, though.
Yeah,
I mean, it was embarrassing.
Well, what you said,
it was embarrassing.
I've told this story a couple times today about the origin of that video. You know, originally it was only supposed to be a record.
Right.
And so then they came to us and said they had to make a video. So what you see up there is a pissed off white man doing his thing.
You did it way before you guys got on a roll and won it all. You did it early in the season.
We had about 5 games to play.
5 games. Huge.
You're running for president. That's great. The Revenant MJ brand licensed and available and now in 7 states. Cali, Arizona, Nevada. Thank God we're in Nevada. Oklahoma, Missouri, Illinois, and Michigan. You got the hemp ships online to all 50 states at thegaspipe.net.
That's right.
And then I got your boy Ricky Williams coming in here later. You know who he reminds me of? Earl Campbell. Didn't you have Earl in here last year with me too?
Good one.
I thought Ricky played like Earl, and then he just smoked more than Earl.
Well,
Ricky loved the ganja.
He does. He still does. We're partnering up with Ricky. He's got a brand, Heisman. He's out there. There's a lot of guys out here that have put their name behind this plant and put it into brands.
Oh.
And, Calvin Johnson, all these guys.
So one thing I won't be doing is coming to your dope hotel, Jim. I heard that the Lexi is where to go. It's the only
cannabis friendly.
Everyone smokes
hotel.
dope. If I go there, I will die. But I did go to the Jerome Baker Gallery downtown Vegas.
Yeah.
5 million bongs. The Jerome Baker bongs were all down there. I went down there the other night, and let's just say there was a little bit of smoking going on there, and I was wafting my way through it so I wouldn't get my clamp rusty.
Yeah.
I'm all worried
don't
now,
rust
Jim.
your clamp.
You know what I mean?
Rust that clamp.
I'm worried about my clamp.
Yeah,
it is.
sure.
But so you're staying in this hotel. And
we took down the Lexi Hotel. It's the only cannabis-friendly hotel because you can't have cannabis in a casino.
I know. Well,
you have everything else.
Yes,
everything else.
I don't have cannabis in the casino.
Yeah.
That's all you smell in the casino.
I burn all the way through. I'll go down to a casino, walk the whole floor. I just keep moving so they can't find me.
I love you. Thanks for coming on. You're a badass.
I love
it's
you,
always
brother.
great to
Thank
see
you.
You too,
Jim,
man.
God
Thank
bless. Hey, let me know if you win the presidency and you need a press secretary. I'm all for you. I'll be there.
You're in.
We'll get you in your clamp in the White House.
Thanks, dude. It's good to see you again, guys.
Super Bowl is set in Vegas. We get a rematch from just a few years ago.
The only consistency in the playoffs has been Travis Kelce.
Brock Purdy, back-to-back weeks throwing 1 touchdown pass, right? He can't win MVP with 1 touchdown pass.
I hate the Chiefs, but I bet on them.
This is going to be a game that is played inside a field goal now from a spread perspective.
All that matters is there's 1 game left, the big game.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
If he doesn't run well, the Chiefs are really in trouble. If McCaffrey doesn't run well, there's a lot more options that you can actually use at that point. And that's how I'm trying to approach it and effectively. But also, Pacheco anytime touchdown, if they're going to score a touchdown, probably going to be him.
That's a good look. Attempts for Pacheco if you believe Kansas City's going to play their style. If you don't, then maybe you go under that total in regards to that.
Pro Football Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFC selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. They reel off the Chiefs, do 21 straight points. They win the game 31-20.
I've been selling this because of the 23 billion is going to be bet on this game in the States this Sunday. That's insane. And this place, Vegas, they're going to make billions of dollars if the Chiefs don't win.
Ferrall Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
That's been to a sporting event. The atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, get the BetMGM app. You're going to love it because they're giving out $158 instantly in bonus bets. If you bet $5, use the code SG158. You're good to go. Download the app on iOS or Android or BetMGM.com. Sign up, get an account, put $5 in there to start, and then bet $5 standard odds on anything, and you're immediately going to get $158 in bonus bets. BetMGM, the best sports betting app, giving away stacks, $158, giving everybody money. It is unbelievable. Check it out at BetMGM.com. Make sure you use the bonus code SG158. Carver High. A lot of college basketball tonight. I know that you may not have approved of the conversations I was having with Turley and McMahon about running for president.
No, I mean, if that's something that I would take just about anybody at this point, other than what we've got. So sure, why not? We can get you guys in there. I wouldn't have any problem with that whatsoever. We do have to gamble on college basketball, though, tonight first. And let's see what we have. Why don't we start Georgetown and Seton Hall tonight, Scotty, in the Big East. Seton Hall minus 12.5. LSU visits Tennessee. Fat number there as well. Wisconsin at Michigan tonight. Minus 5.5 for the Badgers. Alabama and Auburn played a good game a couple of weeks ago. They're in Auburn this week. And Syracuse laying a number at home against Louisville tonight.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I think Syracuse is safe, laying the 8.5 at the Dome. I bet on Auburn at the Neville, laying the 5.5. I think Alabama's going to give them a game. There's no doubt about it. I think Auburn is very tough and Pearl in that building to beat. I think Auburn will win it. I bet it for them to win, I believe, on the money line today. I definitely bet Wisconsin minus the points at Chrysler. I think Michigan is awful. I think Tennessee will handle their business, frankly, in Knoxville against LSU. That number is pretty fat, though. I'm a little concerned about it. And I definitely think Seton Hall is going to rub out Georgetown because I think Georgetown's awful. And I think that Seton Hall has been slipping. I think they have, ever since the Creighton game in triple overtime, they started losing to Providence, and everybody haven't been playing good ball. But then you'll get it right when you're at the Rock and you're playing a crappy team like the Hoyas. If they mess around with them tonight, then you know that, frankly, and Mafia knows it too, then Seton Hall just isn't for real, because I thought they were for real when they were 6-1 in the Big East, and they have slipped dramatically. They have to get it right tonight, Mike, against Georgetown. It's now or never to turn it around.
I agree. They have not played as well as they did in early January when they got off to that good start in conference. All right, Pitt visits NC State tonight. The Wolfpack minus the 3.5. You have Villanova and Xavier in the Big East. We have Notre Dame at Duke. They're going to get whacked. That big fat number for the Blue Devils. Creighton is at Providence tonight, minus 2.5 on the road. UCLA and Stanford minus 2.5 for the Tree in Palo Alto.
Yeah, I was on that game in Palo Alto, and I backed off of it. I was going to lay 2 with Stanford. I don't trust it. I think UCLA's actually been, for Mick Cronin, turning it around a little bit lately and winning a couple of games. So I wasn't willing to do it, even though I was going to lay the 2 with Stanford. I did bet Creighton. I bet them -2. It's 2.5, whatever. I like them on the road at Providence. Kalkbrenner's just a big monster, 7-footer blocking shots. I think they're flat out better than Providence. I know Providence is tough at home. I think Creighton beats them on the road. It's a lot like, San Diego State last night. You go on the road, they got it done. Nevada went into a tough, hostile place, taking on Utah State and Logan, and they won. This is the kind of game that Creighton can win. Duke, Notre Dame, I got to tell you, I'm not impressed with Duke. So, I bet against them against North Carolina. I'd be willing to take a shot with a big fat number with Notre Dame, but I'm not going to bet that game. I like Xavier tonight in the Queen City to beat Nova, and I did bet North Carolina State and lay the 3 against Pitt in Raleigh.
Yeah, I get what you're saying about Duke. I'm there. I understand it. But Notre Dame sucks this year. That's just really the only thing that I keep going back to. And that's why they're going to have problems tonight. Finally, Nebraska and Northwestern tonight in the Big Ten. Northwestern, of course, laying it at home. Georgia is at Mississippi State. You've got USC at Cal. Portland and Gonzaga, a fat number for the Zags. And Texas A&M, -4.5 at Missouri and Columbia tonight.
Now, I know everyone will say, they don't believe me, but I think A&M's good enough to go to Columbia and beat Missouri. I think Missouri stinks. They've had an awful conference year. They've been anemic at best. I like A&M on the road there. The Gonzaga number is so enormous against Portland, but it's got to be real, right? And Spokane, that they're going to beat them by 35 or 40 points. I like Cal and Berkeley over USC. I think USC stinks. Mississippi State at home, Stark Vegas against Georgia. I think they'll win. That number is really 7.5. They think they're just going to blow them out. That might be a little sketchy for me there. And I did bet Northwestern on the money line to beat Nebraska. I didn't trust laying. I did bet it. I didn't trust. You know what I did? I bet the over in the Northwestern-Nebraska game. I did not trust laying 5.5 against the Huskers because I frankly believe that Freddie Hoiberg has had the Huskers playing great basketball for a couple of weeks now. They won the big game against Wisconsin in overtime. I think they're tough, but Northwestern's flat out better at home in Evanston, and I think, I'm going to go Wisconsin, with Purdue and Northwestern, the 3 best teams in the Big Ten.
Finally, if you have anything from the lower levels, I know that there's some Missouri Valley, there's some Horizon, there's some West Coast. What do you got for me in the mid-majors? I'm sure you have something like that.
Well, I gotta look here. I got it right here. So I got LaSalle going now. I don't have all the games off the top of my head who they're playing, but these are teams that I was betting on today that I already bet on. LaSalle, Louisiana Tech -10, Furman -3.5. The North Carolina State Pitt, I bet North Carolina State -3. I also bet the over 142.5. And that was it. Everything else for me was NBA. I had one Cavs laying the points. It was up to 11.5. I got it at 10.5, and I had the Hawks Celtics over 243.5. I did that as well. I think those are all the games that I got. I don't remember exactly LaSalle and Louisiana Tech and Furman who they're playing. I mean, I could sit here, I'd be searching all day looking for those games because there's so many games.
LaSalle has the Billikens. LaSalle has the Billikens coming in tonight.
Yeah. So and then. Louisiana Tech is against Western Kentucky. It's going to be a tough game. They've won 15 games, Louisiana Tech. So, you know what I mean? And then the last one was Furman, and I have Furman going right now. I had the Super Bowl at Radio Row. Shaun, what's happening, brother? Shaun Alexander's here. Can we get him a headset? Here she goes. Misty's amazing. She's very quick. She's agile. She's got moves like you had, Shaun, when you played. Did you see how quick she was there? I mean, honestly, she was really, she came in hot. She knew what she was doing. She meant business, and then I think you're good to go, and you'll just pull that down and you're styling. How's it going, brother?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
My man, Shaun Alexander, legend. Have you been making the rounds?
Yeah. It's been pretty cool. I'm seeing the young guys, with excitement in their eyes, and they're seeing each other, and it's been really cool.
Do you like this kind of thing? Because I know you've done it before, and you've seen it through the years get bigger and bigger and crazier, right? There's now tons of, everybody's doing TV, everyone's streaming, everyone's doing podcasts, then there's radio. It's just out out of control. This place on Monday was empty, and by Wednesday, it looks like an airport.
Yeah, it's kind of wild because the radio guys are now starting in video, and I'm like,
they're all on TV now.
I'm like, oh, so I got to take credentials off. I got to get my hair pretty. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on here?
They make you take off the creds. It's amazing because it used to be radio tables and maybe one or two TV networks. Now every TV network is here. Every radio station in the country is doing video with their radio shows, so that you've hit a new low when you see like radio dudes, fat ugly radio dudes putting makeup on.
Right.
Like I don't do makeup. I'm on TV right now. We're on TV.
Yep.
I don't do makeup. I feel like I'm in like, remember E.T.?
Yep.
You see these bright lights?
Lights everywhere.
But
yep.
I'm as pretty as a girl. I don't need makeup. Makeup seeps into your skin. Have you ever seen chicks take makeup off? It takes an hour.
Who are you?
And who are you? But it takes hours to get it off your face, right? Like, so I did it for like, I think the first year I did it, and then I went, screw it. I'm not wearing makeup. I'm not doing it. So, who do you like on Sunday? Are you getting into this game at all? I don't like watching the same game 4 years later, to be honest with you. And I don't want the Niners to win because I'm a Steeler fan, and I don't want them to have 6 Super Bowls.
Right. I think that you could be in a good shape, though, because 15 is still the quarterback for the Chiefs, and their defense is way underrated. So I got relationships with many 49ers, and so love those guys. But I'm just like, man, I just don't feel like I can go against Patrick Mahomes and that defense.
So what have you been doing since you played?
Well, you know what? When I retired, I ended up having some great relationships, and I started partnering with the Stand Together Foundation, and it's about 800 of some of the most successful businessmen, women, and philanthropic leaders in the country, and they help tackle some of the country's biggest issues. And one of them that I wanted to jump fully on was criminal justice, especially in the juvenile. And they created Cafe Momentum as a foundation.
I know the Cafe Momentum.
There you go.
Who did I have on yesterday? Was it Dhani?
Dhani Jones.
Yeah, so he told me to come over there and party with it. That's a great foundation.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. So I met Chad Hauser about 5 years ago, and they explained to me what they were doing, bringing these kids. So recidivism means they're going back to prison.
Right.
That's about 45-50% in most of the countries. And there's the kids that go through them, it's 11%. I said, Chad, let's pick one in every NFL city.
Can you hang out for a minute while we take a break? And you got to run.
I do have to run.
Oh, you have to run?
But it's good. But we'll stay a little bit longer.
Well, listen. Oh, that would be great. Like, so he has to run, but if we can get him for just a minute or two on the other side, then we'll be able to. I want to ask him about some stuff. I know you've done stuff with the Maxwell Club. We work with the Maxwell Club.
That's right. Yeah.
Rich Cerminello is my guy. It's Shaun Alexander on Ferrall Coast to Coast. Sports Grid, baby.
Super Bowl is set in Vegas. We get a rematch from just a few years ago.
The only consistency in the playoffs has been Travis Kelce.
Brock Purdy, back-to-back weeks throwing 1 touchdown pass, right? He can't win MVP with 1 touchdown pass.
I hate the Chiefs, but I bet on them.
This is going to be a game that is played inside a field goal now from a spread perspective.
All that matters is there's one game left, the big game.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
He doesn't run well. The Chiefs are really in trouble. If McCaffrey doesn't run well, there's a lot more options that you can actually use at that point. And that's how I'm trying to approach it and effectively. But also, Pacheco, anytime touchdown, if they're going to score a touchdown, probably going to be him.
That's a good look. Attempts for Pacheco if you believe Kansas City's going to play their style. If you don't, then maybe you go under that total in regards to that.
Pro Football Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. They reel off the Chiefs, do 21 straight points. They win the game 31-20.
I've been selling this. Like, because of the $23 billion is going to be bet on this game in the States this Sunday. That's insane. And this place, Vegas, they're going to make billions of dollars if the Chiefs don't win.
Ferrall Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
That's been to a sporting event. The atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, Shaun Alexander with us. The Cafe Momentum is off to my left here at the Super Bowl. It's really cool. Create change for youth justice. I think it's really awesome, badass what you're doing for kids. You started out in one city. Now you're expanding all over the country. Your plan is to eventually get it every NFL city.
Yeah, because, like we were saying, the recidivism is at 11%. So that means if we actually put a Cafe Momentum in your city, there's a great chance that the kids that do things, even things that probably should have some punishment.
Stupid.
Yeah. But who really wants to be judged for the rest of their life for something they did
for a mistake?
15, 16, or 17. Like, even if it was done on purpose, you're like, man, we can't throw these kids
away. So they used to ruin kids' lives,
yeah.
And now you're trying to change that, which is what's really specific about it. It's cool. All right, you made a mistake. We're going to give you another chance to get your act together and get your life straight. We're going to help you, and you either take that help or you are a moron.
And we found out that majority of the kids
turn it around
and all over the country say, yes, I want to take the second chance.
What has it been like for you to work with those kids and to see it, firsthand? Because here you were, a college star and an amazing NFL star, celebrity, and then you see these kids with a real struggle in life.
Well, some of those kids, I understand their story. My family's big. My mom had 6 sisters and 1 brother, 30-something first cousins. So we had cousins that did a little bit of everything. Yeah, you had cousins that were doing things inappropriate, and then you had but I have cousins that were doctors, and I have cousins that were not.
Trouble.
And so
ones that made it and ones that didn't.
I would say that I wouldn't want anybody to be thrown away from some bad decisions. And so I got to see a lot of family in those kids, and we've seen some great success.
What does it mean to you to have the Freshman of the Year Maxwell Award named after you, and then to see the kid Downs at Bama get it?
Yeah, it's been so sweet. So it's been named for me for 6 years now. So Trevor Lawrence was the first one, and then you get Kenny Gaineswell, Will Anderson, Brock Bowers, who I just saw earlier, and then Drake May, and now Caleb Downs. It's been really sweet. It's really cool. I try to say it without blushing too much. If you're the best player in college football, you win the Heisman. If you're the best freshman, you win the Alexander.
It's really cool, though.
Yeah,
and I work with Rich Sermonello in the Maxwell Club.
Yeah, I saw Rich earlier.
He's been trying to get me to vote on all these awards and trying to keep me busy, but he does the show every week. I did the Rose Bowl with him.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, man. Maxwell's got a great team around them. And so this year we're doing the big banquet March the 7th or 8th at the College Football Hall of Fame. And so it's going to be fun to see all these college kids, because eventually they'll be. So, I just said Brock Bowers and Drake May.
Right.
They'll both be drafted, hopefully top 10 this year.
So, Brock Bowers, he won it. it, and then he's doing so well. I saw him buy a $300,000 sports car. Before he even signs the deal, he's buying $300,000 sports cars. Somebody's got to slap that kid upside the head. Send me to do it. I'll do it. Listen, Shaun, I love you.
Yeah, brother. This
Thank
is great,
you for doing the show. Congrats on everything. I think it's great what you're doing, the work you're doing in the community. I know you're going over to SportsGrid to do some more interviews.
Yeah, I'm getting it now. Yeah,
so tell them when you're over there that guy down there is crazier than all of you. He's more fun than all of you.
Yeah, that's
tell
what I'll do. But that's true, though.
Say Ferrall's cooler than all you people. This is boring. Tell him that.
I won't beat him up too bad, but it'll be great, man.
Thanks for doing the show. I appreciate it. Did you get a picture, Coffee? You got to get a picture quick. You got to get a quick picture. He's going to get it right here, and that's my man, Coffee. He's going to get it done. And we do it right when we're on the air live. Look who it is. Shaun Alexander, styling. My man.
Excellent,
Thanks,
brother.
dude. I appreciate it. I love you. God bless.
Bless you.
All right. Shaun Alexander with us from the Maxwell Club. Look at the whole group. Oh, we got the whole group in here. Look at this, Coffee. Take another picture. It's the whole group. Coffee's ready to have a stroke. Oh, we got the girl down there. Look at all these guys. Hey, this is awesome. And then I got to hang out at Cafe Momentum. That's what's up. Thanks, guys. Awesome. It's incredible. They creeped up on me. They were fast. You guys are quick. All right, Shaun, be cool. All right, they creeped up on me. Coffee wasn't having it. He's like, what is going on here? All these people on the stage. Coffee was going to start kicking somebody's ass, Carver High. You could see it.
Who are all those people? Were those all Shaun's people that you had there? Was that like the entire Shaun Alexander crew, the Cafe Momentum crew? Who were all those people that just creeped up behind you?
The Cafe Momentum crew that changes the lives of the youth and culture in our country, and they were all of Shaun's handlers. As you know, we thought Ricky Williams was going to come and do the show, but it turns out he was out in the valet smoking a fatty.
That tends to happen now to Ricky, I would suppose. That's what he's about, man. So he's got to make sure that he's got that action going before he gets out of there. So there you go.
So I want you to know I didn't wear the mob rings today on my hand, so I wouldn't scare the NFL radio people like I did yesterday.
Oh, when you smashed your hand down on the table and you made that noise that offended so many near you. All those people that got very offended. So, listen, it is what it is. They'll get over it, as we always like to say.
Yes.
They'll get over it some way or another. I have a few other things for you since we have some time before you leave. I haven't gotten to play you any Super Bowl stuff the last few days. Now, how about this? Let's do this one way or the other. Let's do the two from each of these games, and then I'll try to slip something funny in for you. How about Kyle Shanahan, who's under a lot of strain, Scotty, because he's coached in the Super Bowl twice, and he's lost both times. Once as the offensive coordinator in the biggest collapse in Super Bowl history. The other time, 4 years ago, as the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. So he needs this win more than anyone that's going to be on that field on Sunday. Here's Shanahan.
I mean, it's just right there with the other Super Bowl. I mean, I've been able to coach in 2 Super Bowls, and you lose either one of them. Both of them are heartbreaking. So in terms of pain, I've broken my arm, my collarbone, a lot of things. So those are more painful, but those things last a while. But it's all about getting back there again, and that's what I'm excited for today.
He's relatively cool about his, he knows he was the 28-3 disaster in Atlanta. He knows he had a 10-point lead against Mahomes 4 years ago. It's weird. Everybody thinks he's going to get it done like his dad did. And I said today, I was doing an interview in Miami, and I said, this guy loses again in the Super Bowl. People are going to start, abusing him. I mean, because everyone talks about him being this genius and everything. He cannot afford another, flop in the Super Bowl. He's had 2 of them.
There's more pressure on him than anyone else in this game on either side. I believe, at least. That's my person. The Chiefs have won. Mahomes has won. I know that everyone's like, oh, is there pressure on him to get another one? He's got 2 already, and he'll probably be back for more. There's no pressure on this guy on Sunday. But Kyle Shanahan, I think he'll finally start. If he loses this game, he'll finally start to get some juice. As much of a genius as everyone thinks he is, he'll start to get some juice and momentum that he never wins big games, because he should already be getting it. And if he loses another one on Sunday, it's going to really start rolling downhill for him.
Yeah. I agree with you. And I think you'll hear, I think the Niners, I think York, I think, John, the people that run the franchise, Lynch, I think that they really love him and stand behind him. I don't think he's on a hot seat yet, but I mean, how many times can you go and lose before you're on a hot seat? But he gets him there. I'll give him this.
He's not on a hot seat.
No, but he will be. He will be.
He gets talked about like he's the greatest coach in the league sometimes. He gets discussed like he's this genius and he can't do any wrong. Right. And he's got a lot of big losses on his ledger, and he don't got a lot of big wins. So he needs to go and finally win this game this week.
Look at guys like McCarthy and Tomlin. You win one, right? And then you climb the mountaintop, you get a Lombardi, get a ring, But then if you don't win another one, they start turning on you eventually. This guy McCarthy, they just said he was on the hot seat, going to get fired after they got whacked by the Packers. And what do? Jones turns around and keeps him. And then a month later, people are saying he's on the hot seat again. He's not on any hot seat when they didn't get rid of him.
Nope. No hot seat whatsoever. I agree. But you got to finally break through the door. Of course, Patrick Mahomes, as we just said, he's already won this thing twice. Lost one, too. This is his fourth Super Bowl. Played the 49ers 4 years ago, as we've discussed at length. Differences that he's seen in the defense between then and now.
The last two times we faced them, D'Amico Ryans and Robert Sala in the Super Bowl. What are the differences you see out of this defense under Wilkes?
Yeah, Coach Wilkes is a great defensive coordinator. I mean, I've played him in a couple spots, and he does a great job of game planning, different blitzes and stuff like that, and he's always throwing a wrinkle in there. The two defense coordinators that were before him were great coaches. I mean, that's why they're great coaches where they're at right now. And so they were a great scheme, and he's done some of that scheme, but he's put his own stamp on that defense. And as far as his pressure packages, his different coverages, he obviously has done the stuff that they've been great at for a long time. I think he's done a tremendous job with that, but he puts his own stamp on the defense, and that's something we have to be prepared for.
Yeah, actually, I think Steve's defense has sucked, and I thought the Packers chewed him and spit him out, and I think the Lions doubled that number up in the first half against them. The Lions blew that game any way you slice it. You're up 17 at the half on the road. You got to seal the deal, and they didn't get it done. But the Niners couldn't stop a runny nose. His great defense, my ass. They don't have a great defense. What they have is two really good linebackers in Greenlaw and Warner, and that's it. I'll give you Bosa. I won't deny they have some talented players, but you cannot sell me that defense, even of San Francisco's, is even remotely as good as Kansas City's defense or Spagnuolo. I'm sorry. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying Wilkes. Sorry.
I'm with you. I think the Chief defense is better. All right, here's your daily update. Really, nothing has changed. You're still at a flat 2. I have seen some places, Scotty, at 2.5, but flat 2 here for BetMGM and 47.5, which hasn't budged now in about a week.
Yeah, listen, I haven't been the same since Warren Sharp came through here. It was like a Cat 5 hurricane. This guy spun me around and pretzeled me, Annie's pretzels. Honestly, I'm a mess. I don't know what to do at this point. What is it, Wednesday? Like one day I'm on the Chiefs, the next day I'm on the Niners, the next day I don't know. That's basically Monday I was good to go. Tuesday I was Niners. Today I'm a mess. I have no idea. I really don't. I will say this. I've heard all these people say, nobody scores in the Super Bowl with the nerves and the defense, all this other stuff. I think both of these teams score. I think it goes over.
70-plus points last year. It was 70-plus points last year. I mean, it was 38-35 last year. There were plenty of points. What do you mean nobody scores in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, well, when they last week, right? They scored 17 against the Ravens, and they won the game. And everybody thinks the Niners have this great team, and they're going to slow them down. No. I don't think anybody's slowing anybody down. I'm going to definitely bet the over. This boils down to, for me, now, who wins, and I think who wins will cover. So I still have to finalize it. But yesterday I thought the Niners, because of all the betting, the 77-80% of the people that are betting on Kansas City, they never lose as underdog. You were on the Niners yesterday, so was I. I guess I'm still there, but it's like I'm trying to believe in a team that I sit up here and talk about poorly. I think their defense sucks. I don't buy Brock Montana over Mahomes at all, yet I'm still betting on him. I mean, how stupid am I? I think I'm only betting on him because everybody and their brother's betting on Kansas City, and I think the sports books are going to clean up.
That's one of the major reasons why I'm on them too. Just everybody's on Kansas City. Everybody's on Kansas City.
Warren said that's a bad idea to do your bet that way, and I don't even believe him anymore.
Super Bowl is set in Vegas. We get a rematch from just a few years ago.
The only consistency in the playoffs has been Travis Kelce.
Brock Purdy, back-to-back weeks throwing one touchdown pass, right? He can't win MVP with one touchdown pass.
I hate the Chiefs, but I bet on them.
This is going to be a game that is played inside a field goal now from a spread perspective.
All that matters is there's one game left, the big game.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
He doesn't run well, the Chiefs are really in trouble. If McCaffrey doesn't run well, there's a lot more options that you can actually use at that point. And that's how I'm trying to approach it and effectively. But also, Pacheco anytime touchdown, if they're going to score a touchdown, probably going to be him.
That's a good look. Attempts for Pacheco if you believe Kansas City's going to play their style. If you don't, then maybe you go under that total in regards to that.
Pro Football Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. They reel off the Chiefs, do 21 straight points. They win the game 31-20.
I've been selling this, because of the 23 billion is going to be bet on this game in the States this Sunday. That's insane. And this place, Vegas, they're going to make billions of dollars if the Chiefs don't win.
Ferrall Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
That's been to a sporting event. The atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets and when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the game starts so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, Ferrall finish time. Tiger Woods is going to return to the tour next week and play at Riviera. Your boy Tiger out on the course. Netflix will follow the Red Sox around this year for a documentary on losing. Astros and Jose Altuve get a 5-year extension done. He'll be an Astro for life. What a shame. ESPN, Fox, and Warner Brothers teaming up to create a sports streaming platform to launch in the fall. I heard initially they were going to call it Raptor. Can you, steal that name from the Raptors? I don't know. Is there going to be a lawsuit there? Maybe they're the Raptors. That's Raptor. Former Lion great Calvin Johnson in my all-quitter club said he played under the influence of marijuana to deal with pain. Then again, who doesn't? Florida coaches gather at South Carolina State House to support an NIL bill. All the coaches, including Dabo, showed up for it. Drivers ordered fentanyl and other narcotics from their cars at a window of a Fort Worth house. The guy had a drive-through window, and you picked up your fentanyl and heroin right there at the drive-through window at the side of the guy's house, right out of his garage window. That is fantastic. That's like a drive-through beer distributor in Pittsburgh. We used to have to go to those. They served me when I was 17. It was great. I didn't even have to be 21. Just pull in. If you had a voice like mine, the guy thought I had cancer in my throat, and I was 80. He gave me the beer. I was 16. I just wanted to say that. Country music star Toby Keith passed away at 62. Durag. Hockey Hall of Famer Lanny McDonald hospitalized after a cardiac event. I call that having your heart explode. Sex noises from a San Diego massage parlor interrupt a church service and lead to a massive prostitution bust. I wish I had that in my church, like a side room, like the confession room, and then beyond that they have a little brothel going. No, not a good idea. Man dies after drowning in the lake outside of SoFi Stadium. That's the umpteenth person that's drowned in that lake. What is there, a current in there? All right. Continuing coverage on SportsGrid and Sirius 159 Sports Byline from the Super Bowl nonstop. Go to ProOnTheBench.com. Carver High, Mafia, Luke, everyone, great job back in New York. We'll see you again tomorrow from Radio Row. Check out who.